I'm Stephanie Tan. I am fourth generation. My family is predominantly in Thailand. So our side of the family in Hong Kong were much smaller. My great-grandfather started Asia Financial in the 1940s. My main role in the company is to overlook our investment trading portfolios. And as of this year, I'm also starting a new line of business in aging and wellness. I think it just made sense at the time to go back. And then when they actually, I wanted to do something in F&B actually, to be honest. And then when I first joined, my grandfather said, okay, well, you worked at JP Morgan, so it makes sense that you are now part of our investment team. And I decided, okay, well, maybe I'll do this for a little bit, and then I can move on from here and see if I can help us do something different and invest in, I don't know, I thought about boutique hotels, I thought about all these different things. And so throughout my time there, I thought, okay, I went to Sri Lanka to look at some boutique hotels, and I looked at some other projects in Beijing, which I thought was a great idea at the time, and I brought it to our investment department. And we went through the entire process to look at just everything, and then it was pretty close to getting done, my Sri Lanka project. And then one day my grandfather just pulled me into the room, in his living room, and just said, actually no, we don't want you there. And so I thought, okay, well, if I'm gonna stay at Asia Financial, I can't just stay looking at what mutual funds to invest in. And so I put my head together and I thought, okay, what can we do that just aligned with our long-term view? And it turned out that aging, and I was very interested in aging and doing a wellness center for preventative care, anti-aging. And so I pitched the idea early on this year, and now it's actually up and running while the project is going. I think at the beginning, I really was just sounding it out with my uncle. It just came, I just had a lot of time on my hands, sometime last year when I was just talking to my friend who was also running a senior care business in the US. And I was also reading up on some of the stuff in Hong Kong, and he said, well, why don't you look into starting something small, maybe doing home health care. It doesn't really take a lot of money to try that out. If it fails, you don't really make that much of a dent, and then you help a couple people. So then I explored that, and then early on this year I was sounding it out with my uncle, and he said, well, why don't you really, actually do some research, build up sort of a small working group. And then the home health care idea turned into finding a center, and then it was like, okay, maybe 4,000 square feet. And then now we've sourced, we found a place with 15,000 square feet, 1,000 square foot garden where we can practice Tai Chi for our elderly. So I think that my grandparents at first were like, oh, what is this nonprofit thing that you're putting together? And I said, no, it's actually for-profit, and I'd like to roll it into our group and have the group invest in this project. And I think, they thought, okay, we'll just put that together. And then so it was during one of our investment committee meetings that I got everybody's approval to go ahead with this project. And now we're piloting programs for our courses, and it's been great because actually my target clientele are my parents and their friends and my grandparents and their friends. So I've invited everybody to come to my pilot programs, and it's just been a great sort of platform to get everybody together. I think that in terms of thinking about starting something new, being innovative is really important, and being passionate. I think that as long as your passion sort of it aligns with what your the elder generation feels, and having their support and their guidance is extremely important. So that really helped me in getting my venture started. So that has been very important for me.
Hello everyone. let's wait for my, yes. Actually, comparing to everyone else, I don't know why I'm sitting here, because strictly speaking, I don't think my business is family business. It's actually a limited company with shareholders. Only that my father is one of the major shareholders, and all the others are uncles. Without blood connections, uncles, you know. So they saw me born. We started more than 40 years ago. And at that time, we only have CUHK, only one brand. And I actually am a civil engineer. I've been working as a civil engineer for 11 years before I moved into the restaurant business. And now it's the 7th years in the industry. I think 2 generations sometimes share different values. The same value that we share is profitability. You know, we all want to make profit. But beside that, my generations have a lot of values that they did not have in the past. For example, this table for 2 was founded by Stephanie here. The dish that we sell each will donate $2 to her, so that she will take all those money to help people in Africa and China. And this is what we will do in this generation. I think this is important because different values. Anyway, these are all environmental protections and helping others, all these things that our generations, new generations care about, and I think they did not quite care in the past. At that time, I was working in Paul Wine, which is a listed company, and I work as a consultant to help others. So I talked to my father, and I gave him an idea to open up the banquet house, you know, the wedding banquet, because in Megabox you just like in other countries, it's a destination. You need some reasons to go to Megabox. You won't just run around and go, oh, let's have a dinner in CUHK, right? So I said, I think the only destination for restaurant business is wedding, because you get an invitation, no matter how far, you still go. So, and Megabox, by chance, is a red box, just like a red pocket, you know, one very, very good luck. So, perfect for wedding brand. So I suggest him to open up a new brand. He liked the idea, but I don't see he can execute it. So that was the chance when maybe I should be your consultant. And I got back to the family, and only for this project. And I actually to echo some of your views. I actually earned freedom for myself in the company, because at that time I told my father, I don't want to touch your business at all. I just want a SAR, a Special Administrative Region in Megabox. So please don't come here. I will do what I want to do here. But don't worry, even if I fail, it won't hurt you too much. Only here. So by doing that, they allow me to do whatever I want. And I think this is very important, because risk management is always important. So, and by doing a little bit successful there, they tend to give me a little bit more. So I keep telling my management staff now that we have a lot of bullets, but the condition is we have to fire on the bullseye every time, so we can get the next one. So it was the history that I